Elijah felt that God was gone. God was not with him anymore. He was scared and he was alone. We are scared and alone. But through this all, in Elijah's misery and in Elijah's agony, God never left him alone, because God sent him an angel. Why? Because God was not yet done with him. God wasn't ready for Elijah to go lie down yet. And God provided for Elijah, because his journey was far from over. Through the angel, God provided for Elijah, but not just once. He provided for Elijah twice, food and with rest. Because once wasn't enough. There's this big thing that Elijah has to go do, and God, all-knowing as he is, knows that one time's rest will not be enough for him. God knows that Elijah cannot go further on this journey if he does not take a breather. Food and rest is God's response to Elijah when Elijah says, enough, but also when he needs enough. God has huge plans for us, for each of us. Just as he had for Elijah, he has for every single person in this room. But also, like Elijah, we can't do it. We cannot go on with this journey if we do not take time to rest. If we do not take time to find peace with God. But also in these plans that God has for us, in all of this greatness and these wonderful things, he's not going to leave us alone. Psalm 32 verse 8 says, I will instruct you and teach you in the ways you should go. I will counsel you with my eye upon you. With our journey, God will be with us every single step. Just as he was with Elijah, so he will be with us. Now Elijah is going into this massive journey for 40 days into the wilderness. And there's this beauty for me, this striking symbolism when you see the 40 days that he was in the wilderness, the 40 days that Jesus was in the wilderness, and the 40 years that the people of Israel was in wilderness, where God's people was in the wilderness. How can we then go through this 40-day journey, if you say that? How can we then go through that if we are too burnt out? If we are too tired? We know the great things that God has for us. How do we think we can get there if we do not take a breather? And here's the crazy thing of all. God is giving us that breather. There's a reason why he says twice in the Bible that we should take the Sabbath day and rest. There's a reason. He's already giving us that rest. We are then the ones saying, no, it's okay, I don't need that rest. I have to do this, and this has to go in, and this has to go in. The rest can wait. Why do we then think we can do it if God has already given us that rest? Because even God rested. Even God took the last day when he created, and he took a breather. He took time to rest. Now, I'm not saying that this 40-day journey that we are going to embark on is going to be easy. Because even Jesus had temptations. Jesus being the great one, even life and the devil tried to get him down. So how much more is that not going to happen with us? And when we feel afraid, and when we fail, and when these temptations come along, that is exactly then again the sign to go rest again. Because rest is not a one-time thing. And I'm not now necessarily talking about physically rest. Yes, we do need physical rest as well. But there's another type of rest that I think is for me, a bit more important, and that's that rest that we find in God's presence. That's that rest that we find when we're just peaceful with Him. And that is the type of rest we need when these temptations are coming at us and when these struggles are thrown to us. That is then when we need to take our time, take our Bible, go sit and be with the Lord. And now let's make it a bit applicable. Give it another viewpoint. Today is the 1st of September. Today is Spring Day. It's wonderful, it's beautiful, it's everything as it needs to be. Why? Why is it as it needs to be? Because even nature took a rest. Because even nature took time, took a breather. Nature, from September till March, nature is beautiful, the bees are going, the flowers are going, everything is beautiful. But that cannot happen if it doesn't rest from April to August. Then we can't have this beauty that we have around us. Even God instructs nature to rest. He even tells the trees, go sleep. He even tells the bears that hibernate, go eat, go sleep, chir. September you can come back. Then if he instructs these animals and plants to do that, how much more does He not love us when He instructs us to do that? Us, His children, those who He loves. And the thing is, nature knows that life's not going to run away from it. The plant knows that this tree outside, when it's June, he knows September is not going to run away. September is going to come, and I should wait patiently for September. It's the same with us. Life is not going to run away from us. This amazing, great journey that God had planned for us, He's not going to take it away from us just because we took a breather. He's not going to take this amazing thing from us just because we took time to rest in Him. It is okay to take a few moments to breathe. It is okay to rest and to reevaluate and to think of what your next plan is going to be, because that's why God gives it to us. Not just to rest and be okay afterwards, but also to think what's going to happen next. How am I going to take this on? Because if we are too burnt out, we cannot serve Him. We cannot do the glorious things that He has commanded us to do if we do not take time to rest. Because if we do take time to rest, if you do take this moment to breathe, it is then when you will truly, truly see God's hand in your life, in this situation, in this person. Because we can't focus if we're like bees and running around and going crazy. Then we can't see God. We can't see the amazingness that He has. When you start living in slow motion a bit, then you can see there where God is. And then you can see how great He is and how great He has actually been for you. Now, I'm not saying this as in like, go tell your lecturer you can't write tests tomorrow because you need to rest. That's not necessarily the idea. But how can you then also study for a test if you've been up the previous night until 4 a.m. partying or whatever? That's also not what I'm saying. You need to rest effectively so that you then can effectively do the word of God, the work of God.